Hi, Jelly here with a review for my upcoming nail polish brand Prickly Pear Polish. Underneath all my manicures, I will be using KB Shimmer's Nail Strengthener. While I do not have a set release date yet, I am hoping to have it available for purchase by the end of January, beginning of February. I'm still researching the most cost-effective way of shipping, so once I have that figured out, I will be able to finalize a release date. My very first collection is made of 3 polishes, a more crudely-like red, a jelly pink, and a holographic topper. With this intro out of the way, let's go ahead and talk about the polishes. This is Prickly Pear Polish's Valentine's Day Collection 2023. Up first, we have Frosty Blush. Frosty Blush is a classic red, crudely-like formula with a subtle blue shimmer. When looking at it head-on, it looks more like a traditional red, but when light hits it the right way, you can definitely see that blue shimmer come out. So in that first coat, as I move my finger around, you can see a little bit of that blue shimmer coming through. As mentioned before, I do use my phone as well as a desk lamp with parchment paper to diffuse the light on it. So keep in mind that this is being recorded on an iPhone 13. You can see this polish is pretty opaque on this first coat, but I wouldn't call it a one coater because you can still see my nail line through it. If you are looking for a little visible nail line, this is definitely a good look for that. I do also like that despite the fact that you can't see the visible nail line, if you are looking from farther away, you can't really tell, but if you're like me who looks at their nails periodically throughout the day and you're not really feeling like seeing that visible nail line, I would definitely recommend that second or third coat. Even with that first coat of polish on, you can already see the blue shimmer coming through, especially when I move the fingers around. If you feel like the shimmer in the first coat isn't enough, I would definitely recommend doing that second coat. I did my best to pack it with the blue shimmer to have its best chance of sticking through the red. My camera definitely does not do it justice, but as you can see, as I add the second coat to my middle finger and my ring finger, that the blue shimmer does stick out a lot easier on camera. That, in my opinion, is really important just because it makes it a lot easier to see just what makes this polish really special. I also feel like that helps make it more of a wintry polish and not just a Valentine's Day polish, so it's easier to wear it outside of the holiday. I did, for some reason, end up removing the video of me painting the third coat on my ring finger. So on this coat, you can see 2 coats on my ring and middle finger, and on this clip, you can see the third coat on my ring finger. But anyways, the polish dries down pretty glossy, but I still recommend top coat to seal everything in. And there is 1, 2, and 3 coats of Frosty Blush. Up next, we have Cupcake Face, which is an intentionally sheer baby pink jelly that is easily buildable with each coat. In the bottle shot, I did not realize until I was editing that my own bottle had a little bit of top coat on it. I'm not sure how I managed to do that, but the bottles that you will receive, should you choose to buy, will be nice and clean. One nice thing about this polish is that, especially in that first coat, it gives your nails a your nails but better look as just a nice gentle hit of color, perfect for if you work in a more conservative nail place, you have some staining that you want to cover up and don't feel like buffing out without it being very obvious, or if you are just looking for something a little bit simple or looking for a nice intentionally sheer polish where you can see a little bit of that visible nail line. I do also like that it is fairly glossy on its own. There is nothing in this polish other than the colored pigment, so it makes it perfect for layering as well. And with how sheer it is, you'll see that it doesn't completely mute holographic glitters or flecks that you might put underneath, which you will see when we go over the topper. On that second coat, you can see that the color gets a little bit deeper and that it almost completely covers my visible nail line, but I wouldn't classify it in 2 coats as being fully opaque. I would definitely say it is fully opaque within 3 coats. Though if you do have much longer nails than mine, you may end up needing a 4th coat to make sure that it is fully opaque. I also like that if you just want a hint of visible nail line, that 2 coat option would be a good option as well. It's still a modest, appropriate workplace color, and because of how nice and pale the pink is, it's perfect for layering. You could, if you wanted to use this polish to add a subtle change to an already existing polish, it would be great for that. Just because of how sheer it is, it's not going to be too overpowering from any other color as well. You can definitely see as I move my finger around that difference between that first coat and that second coat, and you can see even more of a difference when I add the 3rd coat of polish. For me, as stated earlier, you can see it gives me full opacity within the 3 coats. This is also not too thick or too thin. It's very self-leveling and builds up nicely as well. I just love how shiny it is, but I would still recommend using a top coat to make sure it holds its shine and doesn't end up wearing off too quickly. And there is 1, 2, and 3 coats of Cupcake Face and Intentionally Sheer Baby Pink Jelly. Our last polish we will be looking at is Blinging Love. This is a topper packed with micro silver and black hollow hex glitters, as well as silver holographic hearts. The holographic hearts are a little bit on the heavier side, so I strongly recommend pouring your little bit out on a silicone mat on a paper plate. You would also be able to fish out the silver hearts like I have. The polish does spread out fairly easily, and those hearts are fairly easy to manipulate so long as the polish is wet. On these current swatches, I do have it over 1 coat of the Bare Nail, 1 coat over Frosty Blush, and 1 coat over Cupcake Face. At the end of this clip, I will also show what it looks like under 1 coat of Cupcake Face, just in case you want to do a jelly sandwich with it. If you're not sure what a jelly sandwich is, it's when you add 1 to 2 coats of an intentionally sheer polish, also known as a jelly polish. Then you add a topper or another color in the middle, and then you add 1 more layer on top. As you can see on my index finger, I have 1 layer of Cupcake Face over Blinging Love. The hollow is a little muted, but you can still see it shine through, and there is 1 coat of Blinging Love on its own, and then with Cupcake Face on top of it. And here is all the polishes together. In this picture, Frosty Blush is in 2 coats, Cupcake Face is in 3 coats, and then there is just 1 coat of Blinging Love on top of Cupcake Face. Thank you so much for coming to watch this video. If you liked anything you see, please give it a like so I know this is content you are enjoying and lets me know I'm doing a good job. If you would like to see more, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.